state of Rhode Island. He's probably been the most high-profile superintendent of state police that we have ever had. And he's a man, as his slogan says, of uncommon integrity. I mean, he fought organized crime in this state his entire career. He knows what criminals do, and he knows he wants the criminals out of Washington, D.C. He really wants to come down there and represent us. Brendan could quite possibly be the first Hibernian from Division I here in the city of Newport to ever run for the United States Congress. We were trying to search through our minds. Did anybody ever do it back in the 1800s? And we can't come up with anyone. So this is a big thing also for the Hibernians. Although the Hibernians are not the sponsors here tonight, there are a lot of Hibernians here who are out to support their brother. Now, I've known Brendan. I met Brendan for the first time around 20 years ago through a mutual friend. And over the years, we've met up at different social events. And one particular event was about 4 or 5 years ago. It was at a golf tournament down in New Jersey. And I had just recently had an operation on my hip, so I couldn't play golf. And Brendan came down to socialize, and he came down here as a blue blazer on and his tie, and he really looked great. But it was about 85 degrees on the golf course. So, since I wasn't playing, when everybody's out, I'm at the bar drinking. So my friend said, he says, you know, why don't you take Brendan out and show him around the course? Well, by that time, if they had a policeman on the course, I would have been arrested for drunk driving. But anyway, we ended up going out on the course. It was a 36-hole course, and we got lost. Not only did we get lost, I ended up on the highway. And the colonel was very concerned. This fellow was the colonel of the state police. Because Harry said, I think that you should turn around. I said, no, I think you're right. I said, and I think you should drive. He says, but we're out of electricity. He says, somebody has to push this car up the hill. I said, well, I'll do it. You get in. He says, no, you just had an operation. So here's the colonel of the Rhode Island State Police pushing a drunk Irishman up the hill and a broken down golf cart down in New Jersey. Right then I knew this is a guy that is a common man for the common people, and that's why we're solidly behind Brendan down here in Newport. I'd like to present to you Brendan Dory.
Sounds like you made that story up. That actually happened. He wanted to take a shortcut through a golf course, and we ended up on a highway. This is insane, Harry. I had a double-breasted suit on, half the time, and I'm pushing because the battery was ran out. I said, we can't do this. We're on a highway. I'm pushing him quick. But yeah, you gotta love Harry. Anybody see the picture of Harry with the accordion in the paper over the last week? Were they not doing the paper? I appreciate you all being here. Greatly appreciate you all being here. I wanted to recognize, first of all, Mark Dostorian, the chair in Cumberland. Thank you for being here. I know he's here from Middletown, South. You around? Okay, he's in the back. Thank you. Ron Hall, the chair in Newport. Thank you for being here. I want to thank Norm Beretta and the committee, the entire committee. I won't name everyone because I know there are about 700 people on the committee, so I appreciate that. And Rob, is Rob coming? No? All right. Just want to, I want to thank Rob Lahane for being here. He's the president of the Hibernian Club. Thanks for being here, Rob. We're just here at the call that the Hibernians do not support politics. I just appreciate Rob's personal support. So, since I'm in an Irish establishment, I should tell a Irish joke, one of my favorites. Some of you might have heard it before. But the O'Brien brothers, the three O'Brien brothers, they grew up in Dublin, and they would meet every Friday night in a pub in Dublin, and they'd have a few pints every Friday night at 7 o'clock. And one week they showed up, and Sean O'Brien said to his brothers, "I've got some bad news for you fellas. I'm moving to the United States." So one of the other brothers said that, wow, it's an interesting timing because I'm moving to Australia. So Michael's staying home to take care of Mom. So the three of them are going to split up. They've been meeting at the Irish pub for many, many years. And Sean came up with a great idea. Well, we're going to be sad breaking up like this, but how about if we meet, we go to an Irish pub every night, wherever we are, and we order 3 pints of Guinness, and we just pretend we're drinking amongst ourselves. And they thought that was great. They had another drink on that one. So a couple of weeks later, Sean arrived in New York City, and he showed up at he found an Irish pub. There's a couple in New York, about 4,000. So he showed up at an Irish pub, and he said to the bartender said, hey, what do you have? And he said, I have 3 pints of Guinness. He said, no, I can keep up with you. He said, no, I have 3 pints because I'm drinking with my brothers. And he told the story. The bartender thought it was fantastic. He went out and told the other patrons of the bar. And they thought that was great. And so this went on for 4, 5, 6 weeks. Every time Sean came in, the bartender would pour him 3 pints of Guinness and put it down. Well, one week he came in and he said, the bartender said, Sean, 3 pints? He said, no, just 2 pints tonight. So all the patrons of the bar looked at each other, and everyone thought the worst. And the bartender came over, he put the 2 pints down, and he said, Sean, I'm sorry about your brother. He said, no, my brothers are fine. I just quit drinking from them. So again, I really appreciate you all being here. All my friends from Newport and Quinnipiac Island, and I'm running for Congress because I think that we're in tough times in this country. I think we all agree we're in tough times, and we need stronger leadership. We're too polarized. You're too polarized in Washington. Washington's broken, folks. Washington is broken. But we're the greatest country in the world. We can be better than this. We are better than this. And we need stronger leadership. We need to raise the bar of ethical standards of our leaders, our political leaders in this country. And it's about, when I talk about leadership, leadership's not about ranks and privileges and titles. Leadership's about taking responsibility for what happens on your watch. And we didn't see that last year in the city of Providence.
Yeah.
Nothing inspires confidence in a leader more than when that leader takes responsibility for what happens on their watch. So we need to take that leadership model, and I've been in a leadership role for all of my career, and most recently, those of you who don't know me well, I was the Colonel of the State Police and the Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety. So I was in a leadership role for many years, and I know what it's like to have to search for your true north and look for those guiding principles to guide you through life. And sometimes, we don't always see that in Washington, and our so-called leaders who some of might believe are morally bankrupt. And we just saw a little bit more of that with the 60 Minutes. If any of you saw that, it's sickening, but we have people in Congress who are using inside information from Wall Street to actually trade stocks. So that's just an example of it. But we need to raise the bar of ethical standards. We need to take that leadership role to Washington to get things done. And we need to grow jobs. We need jobs in America. We need jobs in Rhode Island. We need to bring our corporate tax rate down from 35%, one of the highest in the world, 35% to about 20%. And help our multinational companies reach out and bring that estimated $1.4 trillion overseas that they say is parked overseas. It's hidden overseas. Let's create a mechanism so we can bring that money back and stimulate our economy here and start thinking about America first. Now, some might say, well, that the CEOs will just write themselves a check if we're able to give them that ability to bring it back. What we need to do with guidelines for human capital and for facilities and for equipment. So we need to look at this Byzantine tax code of ours, which, by the way, is about 70,000 pages, our tax code. Next time you see an accountant, say thank you for your service. We need tax reform. We need to simplify it for Americans. So it's about that, and it's about creating jobs through that, and energy. We're an energy-rich country here, but we're not allowed to drill. If we can do that safely, we need to allow these companies to drill. Why continue to rely on OPEC nations and people like Ahmadinejad that don't like the United States too much? So we have untapped oil lines in the Outer Continental Bank. We have shales throughout the United States. We need to be able to utilize that to help become more energy independent. And what does that do? Well, some say there's an estimate out there that will create 1.2 million jobs in America. Well, someone might say, well, what does that do for Rhode Island? Well, at least it'll bring the gas prices down for our hardworking Rhode Islanders and hardworking Americans, so we can stop thinking and talking about America first. How about waste and fraud and corruption? Something I know a little bit about. I want to shine a light on waste and fraud and corruption. Excuse me. I want to shine a light on waste and fraud and corruption. You know, we have some, we need to address our entitlement programs, but in my view, our seniors paid to be where they are. We need to protect our seniors. They should be safe on Social Security and Medicare. We need to reach down the road, not kick the can down the road. We need to reach down the road and fix this problem. But we can start with fraud first. You spent $60 billion on Medicare fraud last year in 2010. You didn't spend it, you're actually a victim of it. $60 billion. How do you run a company like that when we allowed $60 billion out the door? And I could talk all night about the waste in government. Look, government's too big. Government doesn't create jobs. Government should create an opportunity to grow jobs. We need to support the private sector. We need to support corporate America so they can grow jobs and get these people off the unemployment rolls and get them back to work. There are other issues out there that I'll be talking about. One is illegal immigration. Some politicians are afraid to talk about illegal immigration. Well, you know what? We have an illegal immigration problem in this country that needs to be addressed. We should laud and applaud the good work, the hard work of our legal immigrant community. But we have other people throughout my career that I focused on who are here for nefarious reasons. And some would say that, well, that might be a Latino issue. It's not a Latino issue. This is an American issue. This is a post-9/11 era that we're living in. My concern is there are countries out there that don't like us too much, and they know how to get here. And I was a member of the Joint Terrorist Task Force for many years, and I understand these issues. We need to secure America. We never can let our guard down again. So I believe in the vision of the great Puritan, John Winthrop. Not Harry Winthrop. I love Harry too. John Winthrop, when he talked about the city upon the hill, and then President Reagan later talked about the shining city upon the hill. I believe in American exceptionalism. I believe this is an exceptional country, and I believe in the will of the American people. And folks, we need to start thinking about America first. This is a perfect time in closing. I think, along, not a very good singer, but I'd like to lead you all in a song that was written in the early 1900s, and it wasn't sung until 1938 by Kate Smith on Armistice Day, and I want to ask you all to help me with it. It goes like this. God bless America.